Welcome to Get Moxie, the lifestyle talk show, where we'll be delivering invigorating and solution-focused conversations which will cause your life to be your best life. Welcome your host and lovely life coach, Miss Nelly B, and the Moxie Gent himself, Mr. Isabell. So get ready to enjoy your life, but do it right, because it's time to get Moxie.
Welcome back to Get Moxie, your lifestyle talk show. I am your host, Coach Nelly B. I'm here today again with my Moxie Gent himself, the co-host.
I'm Isabell, and today we have a great show for you. We have a fantastic group of people that will be joining us as we talk about
the art of seduction. Today we are talking about the art of seduction in relationships, and we have a wonderful, like Eli said, a wonderful panel of women here who are willing to share with the men what it is that we do and don't like. And Eli is here to represent the man all by himself, but we're going to take it easy on him, y'all. We're going to take it easy.
Bring it. I'm ready. So it's all good. Don't worry. How about we have the ladies introduce themselves, and we'll start here to my left.
Hello, I'm Marlena.
I'm Alfie.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Lynette.
Dana.
Alanette.
Shay.
Fantastic.
Thank you
all.
guys for joining us.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes. So I really wanted to bring this topic to your lap of TV 28. Because we want to talk to all the women and all the men out there about relationships, because that's something I think we've all been involved in one time or another, or currently in right now. And seduction is very important, especially to the women in relationships. So we have a whole panel of women, because we want to share our thoughts, our concerns, our likes and dislikes to all of you all. So we want to start the show off today with kind of just what seduction is. What does seduction mean to you? Anybody have any thoughts on that? What does seduction mean to you?
The way the man expresses himself, rather it's through words or his body.
Okay.
All right.
Somebody else?
That's good.
I would
All
think of it as the aggressiveness of a male as well. If he is able to tell you what he wants and take authority over it, then a woman is willing to be submissive to that. So he needs to be aggressive, in my opinion.
Fellas, please pay attention. This is good stuff. So I advise you all to pay attention. I don't think you're going to ever get women being this honest and this upfront again, so please.
Without nagging.
Right. So here it is right here. I'm sorry, carry on.
I think one thing with seduction is just the art of someone being able to pull you in.
Yes.
Just from the first time you meet them, the way that they draw you to them, and then the ability for them to keep you interested. Because a lot of times, after the first time, it goes away.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
So chemistry.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So do you ladies have a theory on how come the seduction may be there initially and then it fades? You have a theory about why that may happen? Anyone?
I think, to say honestly, it's the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase. They do everything they have to get you, but then after they get you, the seduction and everything else is gone. I mean, that's just my opinion.
It
I don't know.
slowly disappears, it seems like.
It disappears.
Yes.
I think it's based on the shallow, and I'm absolutely in touch with my shallow. So, if I like what you look like and I decide that, okay, I would like to add you to the list of people that I would like to add you to, then that's what I do. And then the minute if I'm no longer interested, there's no foundation there.
Okay.
So it's like it's an instant thing, and then once it's done, nothing else got you to that point. So it's over. So you got instantly seduced. But it's like I had a pastor, but tell me, not in that way, not in that way. No, I've been to
What church is
what
that?
No. So I had a pastor say, the faster you get into something, the faster you come out of it, and that's why sometimes you got to walk slow,
Right.
so that you build a foundation. So I think that's what it
good
is
stuff.
sometimes too.
I think something that's important to remember too, that seduction is more than just, like you said, the physicality, and I think that's where a lot of us do lack the insight to that, males and females alike. Yes, seduction is just the ability to entice or to pull someone into or engage that person, and in relationships, it's important to realize that you need to entice more and seduce more than just the physicalities. Like you said, the foundation, it has to be there too. And even with the foundation, whatever you've done to build that foundation to entice that person to want to build that. You have to keep doing that to keep that going.
Absolutely.
So let me get in here. So let me say this: Do women? I know men are the initial pursuers, and we're coming after you if we're interested. We were trying to
Not
get your
all the
phone
time,
number.
no.
Not all the time. The majority of the time, it's safe to say that men pursue. Correct?
Not
No.
anymore.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, can I still?
You introduce yourselves to us, but that's about
Right.
it.
Can I still? Can I have a question still though?
Well, I
Because this is
think-
educational for me. I want to know something.
I think what you're referring to is gender specific. Society says men are supposed to
They
pursue the
should.
women.
Okay,
So
right.
it's gender specific, but that's changed.
So let's
It's
Yes.
it's a different day now, definitely. So here's my question.
Let's pretend.
What role do women play in the seduction maybe decreasing? Like when you meet a man, what is there any responsibility that falls on a woman that it may not be as strong as it was? Because we seem to always take the hit for when things are, well, you don't do what you used to do, or so what role do women play in that?
Absolutely. Go ahead,
You
Abby.
know,
Women
go.
get comfortable, and because they think, okay, we have the man now, so they don't do the same or whatever they did in the beginning to keep that man.
Right.
So I think women do get comfortable, and
The creativity is gone.
I think it goes both ways.
Absolutely, yeah.
It goes both ways, definitely. Both parties have to continue to keep things interesting. But as women, especially not to stereotype, but we all know, black women, we go to bed with the scarves on our head. We don't want to mess up that new hairstyle that we just got done. We don't take the time to wear the lingerie like we should. We come to bed with just the t-shirt. I'm guilty of that too. And it doesn't have to be just a special occasion to wear lingerie, his birthday or Christmas or because he paid your cell phone bill that day or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, hey, some people, the minor little things mean the most to them, and some, so I think it's just, we have to take the time to really give that extra oomph, and it doesn't have to just be on a special occasion.
I want to say to what you just said about paying the cell phone bill. Not a lot of us laughed. There's a book written by Mr. Gary Chapman about the 5 love languages. Anybody ever read that or heard that? It's awesome. It's a book about 5 different kind of love languages. I can't remember all of them, but one is like active services, one is affection, one is, it's a number of them. But like you said, paying the cell phone bill. For some women, their specific love language is an act of service. So meaning, if the husband comes home or the significant other comes home and he takes the trash out, to her, that's seducing. To her, they're saying, wow, you looked out for me, you did something for me, you helped me out, you made my day a little bit easier because you took the trash out without me having to say it. So now she's more enticed.
Right.
So is it that simple sometimes?
It can be.
If you're
As
married,
a woman,
baby.
it can be.
After you've done all the other things, of course.
If you're married.
Right.
It can vary, yes, but I think it's also before we can actually start giving more, we have to understand what is it that we really need. Because in relationships, I think a lot of women and men, but primarily more women, because we talked about it, is your list keeping you single on one of the earlier shows. We really don't understand what we need. I mean, because we work off the superficial. He's tall, dark-skinned, and bow-legged. I've been delivering. Y'all pray for me. But now I've grown to understand I need more than tall, dark-skinned, and bow-legged, So when I come to really understand my needs, now I'm more enticed when I see that he can come in and cook a meal for me when I'm coming off of work late. That's enticing to me. I'm going to come home and give you what you want. Just saying. So we have to know what it is that we really need. What is your love language? And that's something I think it's important to
And
know.
it has to be communicated.
Absolutely.
You can't expect a person to know what you want. You have to speak
right.
it, but it's also a way to do it. Like we mentioned, nagging.
Right.
Because we all have feelings. So we have to be sensitive on how we approach it when we need to communicate what our needs are. You know what I mean? And it's hard because we get into that stage of comfortability and we don't think about, okay, if I tell my partner he's lacking in bed or he tells me I'm lacking, it's a way to do it.
Right.
You have to be sensitive on how you go about that because we all still have feelings and we all have egos. At the end of the day, whether you're married for 25 years, we all feel like, okay, we want to feel like we still got it.
Right.
So.
And as a lone man on this set, I can definitely say that it is how you address us and how you communicate to us. Because it could go from you trying to give us something that will improve our relationships. Now I'm mad at you.
Right.
Oh, I don't please you anymore. So it really is all in the wording and how you tell us that we're not pleasing you, maybe.
Do we tell you that?
How do you tell us that?
How do we
Yes.
tell you?
Well, you know what? I think you
How
have,
would you like us
Yes.
to
So,
Well-
yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
The question was how do women tell men this stuff? And you said something on the radio show when we did a couple of shows ago. You said something about how much men can process. Can you talk on that too?
So one of the things I said that women, ladies always give us so much at one time. And you can give us 10 things and we're probably going to only process 1 or 2 of those at that time. And then you come back, well, I told you this, I told you that. Well, that was too much. We are simple. We process things as we go along. You can't give us 8, 9, 10 things to remember or that you want us to do or that you need me to fulfill in this relationship. Let me get these 2 squared away, and then we'll work on the next 2. But if we just get bombarded with stuff and we're on overload, because keep in mind, if you're a man and you have a family and you're working every day to take care of your family, you're already dealing with the outside world. Now you come home, that's 100 things you're dealing with. Now I come home, you're adding 20 other things to my plate about what I'm not doing correctly. Encourage me on the things I'm doing well, and then help me work through these couple of things at a time. And eventually I'll give you what you need, and hopefully I can please you in the way that you want to be pleased. But I know it may sound like an excuse, but I'm just telling you the truth.
My question, how much time do you need in order for you to be able to do those 2 things?
Yeah, it is. It is a case by case. I can't speak for every guy.
I still don't know how to tell you.
I can't speak. Well, okay, you said, how do we tell you?
Yeah, it's like,
You have to know your man. But for me, for example, I'm a talker and I'm a listener. So you can put me to the side and say, hey, I'm not happy with the way things are in this area, or I haven't been pleased in bed for a few months. And we can talk about that. And you tell me, hey, I like it when you do this. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start doing that. But if I don't know you like this and you tell me, then we can handle that. But if I don't know and you don't tell me, then you're still going to be frustrated. Things are still going to be messed up.
So how you talk to them is by getting with someone who's a therapist. Get a male therapist.
there you go.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Well, the key is, I think the key is what they say, I statements.
Right.
Not so much you suck at this, that, and the third. It's saying that, I like when you grab my butt, when we having sex.
Right.
Or I like when you smack me a little bit, or I like when you gently choke me a little bit. Don't kill me, but gently. Y'all can tell I like it rough, right?
Bring me to the brink of death. Don't kill me, but just to the brink of death.
I like it a little rough, but I think it's just it's just saying that, what you like. I like when you do this versus, you know what, you weren't doing a good job last night when you didn't slap hard enough, so I think it's all in the wording.
And because of the male ego, we think we know everything, and we think, especially in the bedroom, we think we got it covered because we may have pleased the girlfriend 5 years ago with the stuff we were doing, and now the new woman, that doesn't work for her. So we have to, and men, we do have to grow up and be, and be willing to listen and understanding of what this current woman wants or what they like. And so we take some blame in that. But I think you guys can totally destroy that whole conversation based on your presentation. Yeah.
I think what you were talking about, communicating, I think it's important. The other part that I wanted to bring here with the art of seduction, an important piece of the art of seduction is making love to the 5 senses. And we're talking about your 5 senses, the one that we learned about at elementary school. And through research, it has been shown that there's a responsive phase for men and women. And the responsive phase for men are like 4 steps. The responsive phase for women are 9. So men will climax after their 4th step. We climax after our 9th step. So the making love to the 5 senses is very important, and meaning, it could be something as small as you waking up in the morning and warming up your wife's car, your significant other's car, the female,
which she should
because
be doing
she's
anyway.
and she's going to go to work. So that's like you're already starting to entice her, you're already starting to seduce her, like, oh, okay, he took care of that for me. Or, you're on your lunch break and you just send her a text, say, hey, I was just thinking about you, hope you're having a great day. Those are all carrying us through our first 4 or 5 stages of our response phase. And a lot of people don't realize that. So if we don't get that all day, and then the man comes home and he starts at number 1, and now he starts to entice us at number 1, at 4, he's done. At 4, we're still like, what happened? So there's 9 phases. So making love to the 5 senses, let me smell you. Let me go to work and say, I smell my man. Like, he smells good. So you're starting to get enticed. You're already now starting going through your phases. So by the time you get home, you're already on 5 and he's on 1. We're meeting at the head together. It's important when we have to communicate that, the little text messages, the little I loves you, the whatever it is, when you come home, I want to do this to you. That all keeps, especially as women, because again, we have to be mentally stimulated. It's important for us, but we have to communicate this to our significant others.
And like you said, communication is important. Ladies, is it difficult to communicate to men, like your desires and wants?
Sometimes you guys are just selective listeners. You mentioned before, don't bombard you with this and that. It's just that you choose not to listen to it. Like if you were watching a game, you can tell us 10 different things that happen in 2 minutes. But when we tell you something, you say you're overwhelmed with it.
So let me.
What's your rebuttal now?
Let me address that. Because the game is very important.
And so is your lady.
But no, I'm only kidding. The lady is very important. But the game doesn't necessarily come with all of the emotion behind what we have to remember.
Yes, it do.
And
Because
now,
you like, that coach did this, he didn't do this.
Yeah, but I don't. Like, when it's over, I might be mad for a minute, and that's it. I'm back to my regular life until next Sunday. But when I'm dealing with you, as my woman, and you're giving me these things, and there's all these different emotions are behind it. You're mad about this. You're mad about that. You didn't do this right. Yeah, we may process some things. We may only take in what we want to hear because there's so much negativity coming. Right. I don't think women sometimes give men. They don't praise us, like I said, they don't praise us on the things we do well enough. And do we need to step up more? Absolutely. But the things that we do well, let us know that.
Right. We do. It's just the fact that if I told you on Monday and you said okay, and here it is Thursday, now I have more complaints to add to the pile. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then you're letting them sit in this pile, and it's piling up, and it's piling up, and you choose to do nothing about it instead of taking one and say, you know what, this is.
But then, okay, and that comes down to the man you kind of chose. These are things you should have seen in the dating stage. Also, no, but I'm just saying because the warning signs are there. You can only mask. Look, if you put a mask on a pig and he walks around, after a while that mask gonna come up. You're like, this fool is really a pig. You're gonna know. You can only mask who you are for a little bit of time. So that's why you take it slow and date, and you learn about this person. That way, you know he's not a good listener. You know that he curses his mom out. He don't respect women really. At the end of the day, I'm just saying, just examples. So we have to. I think even men too. We have to pay attention to who the person presents themselves to be and believe it. Yeah. Not because you guys have great chemistry and the sex is good, because that will blind you to everything else that he's horrible at or his character. If he bangs you out, if he has sex with you very well, if the sex is good, you guys will overlook a whole lot of stuff that's staring you right in your face.
This is very true.
It's
and
not
that's
that
how a lot of
we're
issues.
overlooking it. We just choose not to talk about it.
So
It's what I call you're dickmatized.
There you go.
That's a real condition. Look it
Is that in
up.
the DSM-4?
Look it up. It's a condition.
But it's important. It is important in relationships. It's very important in relationships to pay attention to the facts. One of the workshops that we did, that I did, was act on the facts and not on feelings. Because when you act on feelings, you will definitely be blinded, and there's warning signs that are there, and they're there for a reason. You know, he may could definitely please you very well in the bed, but like you said, there's other factors there that we're overlooking and we're choosing to overlook because the penis is good. However, in a relationship and whatever it is that you're after, there's more to that. So if you don't know what you want, if you don't really understand what is it that you need, you will continue to be stigmatized and unhappy. I wanted to just say something real quick to what you were saying about the game. In a relationship, we have to be mindful, and like you were talking about earlier, balance. Okay, we know the game is on, and we know we have an issue. Do not go to your man during the game trying to get an issue solved. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's not about you at that moment. Give him his hour or whatever, too. Once it's done, then you can go ahead and bring it to them. I've had a woman in therapy where she said her man doesn't pay her much mind. During the game, she walks downstairs practically naked, and she prances across the television screen, and he doesn't pay her any mind. And she's like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't pay me any mind. And I said, well, honey, did you let him know? And she's like, well, I mean, I'm naked. What more can I say? You could say, honey, I'm ready and I'm horny. What's up? Can we do something? And she was like, well, I shouldn't have to. Well, why not? Because your man is not psychic. Okay, he might say you just like walking around naked. The game's on. He's not paying you any mind. On a commercial break, you can say, hey, honey, after the game. Or during a commercial, hey, come here, let me do something. Whatever it is. But we have to take more responsibility for us in a relationship and communicate our needs. Because seduction is not going to just come out the air. It has to be a conscious effort to be made. And you need seduction to have the intimacy and get your relationship to that height.
Well, just for the record, speaking for the men I know, you can come in front of the game naked if you want. I get the cue. So just saying.
Everybody doesn't get the social cues. Not at all. Everybody doesn't get it.
See, my thing with that is football comes on Monday night, Thursday night, and all day Sunday. So you got a whole lot of other days in the week to walk around naked.
There you go.
And then I'm gonna be watching the game with you. So and I'll probably be halfway because that's just what I do if I'm in my house.
Right.
But but don't bother me because we're watching this game. Wait till halftime.
Exactly.
But that's the thing too. It's like sometimes women decide, and I mean, I'm not necessarily guilty of it with sports, but we'll decide that like, okay, this thing is important to you, but now I got to see if I'm just as important as this thing. So I want to see if you're going to stop doing what you like
They push those boundaries.
and push it to the side and give me that attention. And 9 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't do the same for you. But for some reason, that's like, it's a measure of how much you want me. And you don't have to like give up your whole self. But you need to keep some of that because I need you to have somewhere to go when I don't want you around. So keep your thing that you do.
Right.
So I have a question for the ladies. When you have a man that's sensitive to your needs and he's doing, everything in his power to please you, I've known men to be that way and they basically do whatever that woman wants them to do. And then because they are, if you want to say, being ran, for lack of a better phrase, then after a while the woman gets bored with that man who's doing everything he can to please her. And he's not appreciated. Now he's soft. He's all these other things other than a good man. He's treating you right. Why does that happen at times? And then now this good man who's doing everything that you always nag the next guy about, he's soft. Nah, he's too soft. He's too nice. I don't want him.
He's not challenging us. We need that challenge. All he has to do is stop doing it for a little bit, and then we'll want him even more.
I think that when you get to the point to where you are too predictable, then that's when you have a problem. Because if you have someone who's immune to doing the same exact thing all the time, and you know that's what that person is going to do, it's 12 o'clock, they're going to bring me lunch, this is exactly what I want, then it is going to get old, and it's going to get old very fast. But when you get to that point to where the pattern is no longer the pattern and you're actually able to do something outside of your comfort zone, that's when a woman is really going to say, oh, wow, it's 12 o'clock. He's not doing exactly what I'm thinking that he's going to be doing. He did it at 1 o'clock. Get to that point to where, again, you're arousing our thinking pattern by saying, you know what, I'm going to get her my way.
Right.
Not the way that we want you to get us, but get us your way. And that makes a difference.
So still meet the needs with spontaneity.
Exactly.
See, I think it's a balance. Like, for one, I can't stand a yes do. I can't, because
Please don't be.
My parents have not been around since I was about 26, and I will admit I need somebody to check me, and nobody has done it thus far, and I'm still single. No, if you can't do that, that's a problem. I don't need somebody that's going to let me run, because I'm not always right, and I'm not perfect. But I do want someone to actually, I want somebody, you want somebody to cater to you and give you things that you want, but you also want somebody to know when to tell you no, or that's not going to be good for you, or yes, you want that, but you probably shouldn't because you want to do X, Y, and Z. So if you know me and what my goals are, then you'll know I probably don't need to spend money on this because I actually want to do this here. Right. But keep me on top of myself. So you can give somebody that, and even with telling me no, you're still giving me something that I actually need and I want. But you can still spoil me in other ways, but not so much. I don't want to run somebody, and I think women who run men, that's just who they are. And if you have a good man and you rather have one that once you get tired of you just get tired and you just want to run another one because you're tired of running this one. So I don't think it's a thing with a woman like that, because all women who want that yes man, so to speak, they don't all want to run him. They just want somebody who is willing to say yes, because a lot of men are like no all the time, and you feel like you got to work to get a yes. So but some women just I have a sister who thinks that she's in bliss every time her husband does so. Oh, he spoils me, but she has to beg, and I get like, you really had to beg for $20? And I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying.
Right.
She has to go through motions, but then when she gets what she wants, it's like she accomplished something. I'm like, but that's your husband. He's supposed to make sure you're tired of that. Like, why did you have to beg for? It's just a balance, though. For me, I think.
And that's a balance that women expect us to know.
Right, without telling
Without telling us, yeah. So I think, go ahead.
So I just want to say, okay, so what are some we're talking about the art of seduction. What are some things that entice you all as women from men? Let's share those secrets with the men that are viewing and with Eli here.
You can make it general if you don't want to give it specifically for you. Somebody might use it against you.
I would personally say, I'm a real romantic type of person, really into the being sensual and the intimacy and things like that. So I know in previous relationships, you know, I would get so excited if somebody would, you know, bring me roses or send roses to my job or send roses to the house and things like that. You know, oh my God, I love roses. That's my favorite flower in the world. I got them even tattooed on me. You know what I mean? So I would be like, oh my God, that's so awesome, that's so wonderful, you know. And my husband, you know, he gives me roses and things like that, but not as often as I would always like. You know, sometimes I would want more flowers sent to the house or things like that. But at the end of the day, if my car breaks down, he'll be under the hood for 6-7 hours. Like, this man actually was like outside fixing my car till 4 a.m. in the morning one time to make sure that my car was working. So you have to step outside of your comfort zone and step outside of things that you're used to or things that you think are special, and kind of open up and look at the bigger picture, because ain't too many men out here that's going to be underneath a hood till 4 a.m. to make sure their woman's car is on point, you know. So to me now, I had to think about stuff like that, you know. Yeah, I would like a flower, you know, roses sent to the house. Of course, that's easy. That's easy, you know. Ain't nothing to call up, you know, Joanne's Flowers and say, hey, can you send this to, you know, your address? But to do things like that, you know, to me that entices me, because that lets me know I have a man who truly cares for me and loves me, and he's willing to lose sleep to make sure that when I get up in the morning, my car is on point. So shout out to Mike Davis. Thank you. Anyway.
I mean, that's good stuff. And you don't often hear women say things like that. Women normally want what they want. And fixing your car doesn't necessarily fall underneath that category of the things that make me happy or that I desire. So it's good to hear that.
And I think, again, it goes back to a lot of women don't really know what they want. I want a man with a big penis.
You don't know.
Okay, but then once you get that, then what? And you're never satisfied. It's always, I want more, I want more, I want more. Because I don't really believe women have really taken the time to really understand what is it that really entices you, what really seduces you. Like you were saying, I said it before, you know, being younger, he had to be tall, dark-skinned, and bow-legged. Okay, but then what? He's dumb as a doorknob. You know, or he has no skills in the bed. That woman happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's always. So it's not until you really get to a place of really knowing you and knowing your worth and what you really desire that you can really seek fulfillment in a relationship.
You know, something interesting about what you just said is, like, you know, the tall, you know, all that, and then, you know, with the that you can find somebody and you get to know them, and like when you have a connection with somebody and you have like emotions going on and love. I have found that, you know, you could break up with somebody and you could go and be like, you know what, and you'll be like, what was I doing? Because this person is but when you love, if you get all that other stuff, it doesn't really matter the skills they don't have, because all of those other things kind of fill in the spaces, you know, and then you can grow together in that. But then when you lose that, then that's when you see, like, when there's nothing there, it's just bare, it's just us two, and you have no skills, and what were we doing?
Exactly.
The quiet table to my right shoulder. You guys like to interject, offer any feedback about what can men do better? What can we do that we're not doing as a whole?
Well, I always like unpredictability.
Okay.
That's my main thing, especially in the bed.
Oh.
Yes.
He like got a little moist just now.
No, I was trying to. I'm calculating from my responses. Okay, Shay.
I love a challenge.
A challenge.
Challenge.
Yes.
And I think, you know, what you say, the challenge, I think that's something that a lot of, especially as black women, we like to push those boundaries. And I was talking to somebody the other day, because coming from New York, I'm very forthcoming as well. I'll let you know, hey, look, you're gorgeous. I think we need to go ahead and make something happen. And dudes will look at me like,
yeah, I've seen it.
What? Huh? You know, it's like, I know what I want, and I'm going to tell you what I want. But a lot of, especially the guys down this way, down south, you know, they that's kind of intimidating to them.
Right.
And I've explained to, you know, Eli and I've talked about this before. It's not that we're aggressive. We are assertive, yes, but we do push the boundaries to see, kind of like what Lynette was talking about. How far are you going to let us go?
Right.
Now, the moment you put that boundary down and you check us, we are putty in your hands. And a lot of men don't realize that. So men, let me help you out. Okay? Don't run when they are aggressive. Set the boundary and see, will she just back down and give in to your needs? It's real. Can y'all attest?
Absolutely. Yes.
Like a choir.
Because I think the real deal is we want a man that's going to take control.
Yeah,
We
Absolutely.
want a man, we want to have our
Absolutely.
control to some degree, but we want to know that. I always used to like to say, I used to always tell God, look, I'm tired of walking around, and y'all don't judge me, with the penis and the vagina. I'm really ready to get rid of this penis and give it back to what it needs to be. However, I need him to be able to take the penis and do what he's supposed to do with it. And I don't mean just in the bedroom. I mean in a relationship, considering the family, making sure we're first, making sure we're taken care of. Be able to manage the penis the way he's supposed to. So it's not, so when we push those boundaries, it's not that we're trying to push you away. It's that we're trying to see what you're going to do with this. If
So
I
what-
get to see what you're going to do with it.
What are the characteristics of that guy you just described? That guy, you can hand him the penis and he handles his part. And he does. What do you see? What does that man exhibit that you know that he's that guy?
First, that he's that family is first, like in all the decisions. Because a lot of men that I know I've encountered in the past, they are selfish to the point where they're just making decisions based off of their needs. Like for instance, past relationships, they needed money, so instead of going to get a second job, you decide to go start hustling. What about the family? You're not considering the family. You're not considering that if I go to the streets and start hustling, there's a potential I can get incarcerated or they can attack my family. So those kind of, it sounds immature, but it happens even in our 30s and 40s, these older men. So like that you're going to consider the family, that our well-being is important to you, and you're a part of that. So
when I go get the second job and I'm not around as much, I'm not there to help with the kids as much, that now becomes an issue too.
it does.
You're not getting your time. So it's just like sometimes we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We know we need the money,
Yeah.
and me getting the extra money means I'm not going to be around as much. So what the heck?
But and that's where you communicate with your significant other and you figure out the plan. Maybe it'll be for 6 months that you got to pick up a second job, and I can be all right, only seeing you on Saturdays and Sundays. But that's something you communicate because it can still work.
Right.
When you see those bills, there's a communication right there. You know that I got to work. I'm not going to let my woman get a second job. I'm the man of the house. That's what I do.
Did
So
he just expect somebody to just know just because they saw her?
I was getting ready to say that.
Because he told her earlier, the lady running around, you're supposed to know. So we just supposed to know because we saw bills.
no, you.
No, I understand. I understand.
You know where I'm coming
I know
from.
what you're saying.
But in my house, see, I don't open the mail. I just get told that. These are the bills. I never open the mail.
said I don't open the mail.
Just tell me what's what, and I'll go to
No, I
work.
understand what you're saying though, because I understand what you're saying because you as a man you have a responsibility, and then if you're a man who is, I don't want to say trained, but you're conditioned is the better word. You're conditioned that way. Okay, I need to work. I need to make sure that my household is taken care of, but it does create issues, because the kids want dad around, your wife wants to see you more, but at the same time, hey, if it wasn't for dad working, we wouldn't have this Xfinity cable on that we could watch. We wouldn't have these lights on. We wouldn't have all these things that we can do and food in the fridge and things like that. But it has, in everything, I say it has to be a balance. Sometimes you gotta let some of the hours go to give that quality time because that's needed. That's needed. You got to take care of home in multiple ways, And if it means that, hey, I got to pick up a little extra, that's what I need to do because I don't want you, being so worn out that now you're always away because of work, and then when you're home, you're exhausted.
Right.
So it just has to be a balance. But, I think as men, you're just, you want to make sure that your family's taken care of.
And a man goal I think women don't know about because we don't tell you. One of the things that we are very, very, that's very, very important to us, we don't ever want you to have to call your father to ask for money when I'm in the house and I'm working every day. So a lot of women don't know that.
Is that every man or just men with value?
Men with value that want to take care of their family, which is why he'll be out, driving an Uber, or he'll be out working overnight somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a blow to a male's ego. If you got to do that, we got to struggle first. I'm not going to let that happen. You know what I mean? So don't do that.
That's good stuff. I think something that you said earlier, too much of anything isn't good. So balance is very important in every relationship. Too much of anything. So if you're working too much, it's not good. If you're having too much sex, it's not good.
What?
Sounds crazy. Right. So trust me when I tell you. Too much of anything without the balance is not good. It will never work out right. Because you can't have too much of one and not the other. So it has to be a balance. So I agree with you. If the wife has to pick up some hours, whatever it may be, but it all starts with communication. You had something.
I was still looking at you about that too much. But,
Too much sex without the intimacy, without the substance, without the dating.
all right. No, I'm just
technical, right?
Yeah, you know what the fuck you talking about?
I can't No, I was when you were saying about the men not wanting a woman to call up, and I guess like she said, men conditioned to take care of the family, and then you were saying like with the ego thing. So what if you are in a house and both of you work, and you are one of those people conditioned, so you really don't want your wife to do, so much of everything, but then you need, and then she has to come and, take care of some things, and y'all got ego problems. So then how does that work? Because you can't ask dad, then you don't want her to do anything, or like how do you because it all boils down to the man, and this is how you think things should be because this is how you're conditioned. So a lot of men who think like that don't usually get a woman who already has everything together on her own, because she doesn't necessarily need you, she would just want you.
Right.
But how does that work? Can a man like that let a woman?
He needs therapy.
True.
And listen, let me say this right here. I don't think I know for me personally, I can't speak for every guy, that if I were to have a woman who made more money than me, then one of the things I'm going to do is to make sure I pull my load. She can still make more money than me, but I don't ever want to be the man that's sitting there like she's taking care of me. If she makes $70,000 a year, then I want to try to make 60 at least. Right. I don't want to be making 25 and 30 because she's carrying me. And as a man, my ego won't allow for her to do that. I want to be able to contribute to what we're building. And I feel like if she's working on her master's degree, then I'm trying to go to one of these Votechs or something and be a plumber or something.
It's not a competition. Listen, Susie
it's not a
Orman
competition.
set it up perfect.
Go ahead.
She said if she makes 70 and you make 30, then you pay 30% of the bills that she pays 70. And if y'all want to be together, because if y'all didn't have either one of those checks and y'all were right for each other, then be together. So that money shouldn't mean that now you got to go and take yourself out the house because you want to go to school too, or now you got to go get a second job so your 2 checks add up to her. What is the point? It's 2 checks. They take care of everything. Y'all 2 people. The testosterone will ruin a relationship. You can't give a penis to her and let her.
And therein lies the whole thing right there. I don't want to hand mine over to her.
But no, just because she makes most of the money doesn't mean that she still can't give you the penis.
Yeah, but I think there's something, to be honest with me, anybody jump in. I think that if a woman is out, if she's making way more money than her man, and I don't have an issue with the woman out earning me, but if she's making way more money than her man and she's holding it down, and if a woman feels like she doesn't need you, and the first thing a woman can go to is her finances. So if things are a little left between y'all, then she don't necessarily have the motivation to work things out, because technically I don't need you.
She has everything.
She has everything.
But she wants you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Will mess us up. Oh, we will be some dummies for somebody we want, boy. You can have nothing we need, but if we want you,
I just want to feel like that I add value to the household.
But value doesn't mean money though.
Yeah.
Because you could
to men it does.
To men it does, but it
shouldn't.
Shouldn't be that. You know what I mean? And I mean, some women are guilty of that too. Because I'm gonna be honest, like if I feel like it's not enough money in the house, like I'm going straight crazy. Like I'm cray-cray, because I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? All right, my husband's working too much. I need to, and it has caused issues in my marriage because of it, because I'm so concerned about making sure we have enough, because I come from a history where we didn't have enough, and I don't want to get to that place, and I don't want to have to deal with the things that I had to see. So it's like everything needs to be financially on point, and if the finances ain't right, guess what? I ain't getting wet. I don't care about nothing. You know what I mean? And that's real talk. And so it's not always about money. Sometimes you have to step back and you got to say, okay, hey, you may be a trash man, and I'm at a Fortune 500 company, but you making sure the dishes are washed, the clothes are washed, the kids are taken care of, everything is on point. So when I come home from my Fortune 500 company job, I can just sit back and eat my meal and I'm good.
But I can kind of
So,
see.
you know, I think it just,
how-
again, balance.
But I can see how the men would have a problem with that. Is because if you are with a man of value, then they are raised to be the protector and the provider and the one who's going to make a way for you. And if we don't give the man enough room to make that way, then he's going to stray. And I think one of the problems that we as women have sometimes is that we have so much authority within ourselves that we don't even know the power that we have. Because again, if something is not right with us at home, we'll go into our 401k. We'll get money out of that 401k. We'll create a loan in order for us to be able to make sure that the bills are taken care of. Whereas our husband will be at home, maybe collecting Social Security, feeling as if he's not the man that he needs to be because we've already taken care of everything. So the communication needs to be in alignment as far as what a woman's expectation is of that man and what that man is supposed to be doing. Because when we hold the penis too long, we're going to walk away with the penis and the toys and everything else. So in order for us to be able to keep the man there, we have to give the man a power to be a man. And I want my man to be a man. Like, control whatever you need to control. Tell me what you need me to do. You know, if you're making $30,000 and I'm making $70,000, you give me the plan in order for you to add the extra $50,000 to the income so that I don't have to come out of my pocket to do it. And because we women because we're so powerful, that is our problem. That's really what our problem is, and is that we solve a problem 20 seconds faster than the man does. So he needs 20 minutes to think about it, where we already got it situated in 20 seconds.
I'm not arguing that.
It's not our problem, but because we do understand, and I'm gonna give God his credit for that, because when he made Adam, he said, you know what, yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and give him a helpmate, because something ain't gonna quite, But so yes, it's not our problem. However, but you said it right on the head, Marlene. I was gonna say that we as women, because we're able to multitask, we're able to think on the spot. We have to kind of slow down sometime and allow a man to be a man.
Yes.
We have to, because that's what destroys the man. And we don't understand, like, the more you encourage your man, the more you pat him on the back and praise him, is the bigger Superman he'll become.
Absolutely.
He'll get it.
Call him
He will
Superman.
eventually get it. He will eventually get it. But we have to allow them, because we don't. We get that you can lift up the car with one hand and change the tire by yourself. But you know what? Put the thing down and say, baby, can you go change the tire for me?
I'm telling you, it's a Jill Scott song. What is that? We need you. Y'all need to listen to that song.
But we have to act like we need
And
them.
we don't tell them enough that we actually need them, because we're so independent
And let
to
me
the
tell
point
you,
where we don't want to tell a man that we need you.
it goes a long way. I got a text about a week and a half ago that said, thank you for doing everything you do for our family. And I love you. That was it. And that took me through the rest of my day. And that made me want to, not that I need another job, but it made me, damn, I want to get another job. I feel like I want you to have some extra stuff that you don't have.
It's the little
so
things.
it is a little thing, and we appreciate those little things.
That's the art of seduction.
I think it's a lot of things.
Now, if you walk through the door and she got a sign butt ass naked and she say, "Hey, thank you for everything you do for our family," and when you walk through the door, she right there. That's even better. That's icing on the cake.
She's already on that.
So it just goes back to that. The little things that we do for each other. That's what keeps things hot.
Right.
I just, like, I'm not going to say I disagree, because I agree to a point, but I think with the with the man and woman thing, I think that it's a lot of things that women do nowadays that they shouldn't be doing in the first place. And so we've actually taken on a lot of male characteristics, because we're doing the man's job in households and, in relationships with our kids, because men haven't, not all men, but a lot of men don't step up and do the things they're supposed to do in families and in households. And so it's easier for them not to, with the way things are nowadays. So you have women who actually don't, I'm not going to say they don't know how to, but men aren't necessarily being bred to do that, they're not being conditioned
Can I interrupt
to
for a
lead
second, though?
households.
But women are not making men take the responsibility either. So you can say that women are doing a lot of stuff that they're not supposed to be, or they weren't doing before. But a lot of women are letting men do it too.
Well, I can say I agree with that, but I would say for I can only speak from personal experience. And I know it's certain things I can't make somebody do, but I know it's certain things that need to happen. So I make them happen, because if I don't make them happen, then they're not going to happen and everybody's going to be all jacked up. So I can only speak from that. But I think that, I just think it's an all-around responsibility. And I think that it began with the day that people stopped taking responsibility for, like, families all together, and they all got broken. And that's like a totally, because I was thinking when I was talking earlier, I was like, but this don't have nothing to do with seduction. And I thought we was going to talk about what I like and cologne and stuff like that.
And that's good though.
But this is, it
that's
is
a part of it.
It all comes back. The relationship.
And one thing about men today, most men aren't being raised by men.
Right. Absolutely.
So men have been raised by women, so they take on a different set of characteristics that men did 40 years ago. Right. The man is not in the household to teach these boys how to be men. So I think women are automatically expecting men, because you're a guy and you have a penis, you should know you should be doing this. But if you haven't had a man to walk you through these steps, you don't know, and it takes you a little bit of time to find your footing. I wasn't raised by my father, so I didn't start to click and get things till I was about 27, 28. So I lost some relationships before that because I didn't know I needed to be doing certain things because no one taught me. You know what I mean? So I think women have to take that into consideration too. It's sad that you have to take that into consideration, that men aren't being raised by other men and being taught properly, but that's the reality of it.
But there are women that are not being raised by men or by their mothers either. So it has to be, women can't always expect men to do so much when you come from the same household as well. A lot of women don't know. I think we go back to what Coach Nelly was saying about we don't know ourselves. So how can we tell a man what we want and what we don't want, but you don't know who you are. You're not raised by your father or your mother, or so you're raised by your grandmother. Right. And you see the same, it's a repetitive cycle.
I have a question to everybody on the panel, and for you, Eli, as well. I said this in one of my workshops in the past week. Would you be able to stand fully naked in front of a full-length mirror and be okay with what you see? Now, here we go. Hold on.
All right. They took it somewhere already.
Now, I'm saying this in reference to the point of not just your physical. I'm talking about the stuff that you see in the mirror, your emotional, your mental, the trauma, the stuff you have not told anybody, the secrets from the past. Can you honestly stand in front of this full-length mirror and be okay with everything that you see? You don't have to answer it. It's rhetorical. But I say that to say understanding all of that about you. If you really understand that and you're compassionate to yourself about that, you'll be compassionate to your mate. To understand that you're not easy to deal with.
Amen.
Right?
Yes,
You're not easy to deal with. So we can't expect a man to sit there and just tolerate us and be okay with who we are because we're a piece of work.
Right. Yes. I know.
And when you really come to understand that, you'll be a little bit more compassionate to the man that you're dealing with and say, all right, let me take this slow because I am a piece of work. Because sometimes I can't stand me either.
And something we talk about, let's ask this question, so to speak. This is not rhetorical. I want an answer. Would you date yourself? Would you date you?
Yes.
Be honest. Yes. Everything, you better than anybody. You know if you're a really honest person. You know if you're a hardworking person. You know if you're a little scandalous and sneaky on this side. Would you date you? Be honest.
Honestly, I would say I would date me probably on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. No, and I'm being, you know what? No, I'm being funny, but I'm just saying, like, probably 3 out of the 5 or 7 days, yeah, I would date me. But those other 4, yeah, I'm a piece of work.
You give you the side eye?
I'm a piece of work, like, seriously, you know what I mean? And the thing is that I'm one of those, we were talking, Marlena was saying it, like, I'm very aggressive woman, very controlling, have been, God is still working with me, you know what I mean? Yes. But a lot of that comes from my background and things I've had to endure, and that was my defense mechanism, that was how I survived. But it trickles down into your relationships when you have a strong man and a man who wants to take control, and then he has you, and you're not, you don't want to cut the cord. Right. So it's hard, you know what I mean? So that's why I say, yeah, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 3 of those days, I'm a beast.
But see, this
in
is
a good way. But for the other 4, I need a little help.
This is why seduction and success in relationships are very hard. And thank you for saying that, because a lot of us do have that past that we've not dealt with. And we don't understand the importance. Self-work is so important before you get in any relationship at all. I don't care where you are in life. If you have not done self-work and really overcame and let go of your past, you will bring that into this relationship, and your relationship will be very dysfunctional.
I think some women look for men to make them whole.
Oh, absolutely.
And
That's impossible.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of people look for. Like a lot of women who've grown up without their father, they want their husbands to be their father and their husband. And with that being said, it's like the self-esteem goes out the window. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you're going. You have no direction. So you look for the man to guide you. And because you're looking for that guidance, it's like you're going somewhere. You just don't know where you're going. So you just trust that that person is going to lead you. Whereas when you learn how to love and know yourself and strip yourself of everything that has ever happened to you, then you can face the reality. And the reality of self is really a hard, hard pill to swallow.
Wow.
We have to get rid of the unrealistic expectations in relationships, because that's what a lot of us center our relationships around. He has to be my God, my father, my best friend, my mom, my dad. He's nothing but your man.
That's it.
And we're not capable, just so you know. That's too much. Remember, you can't give us too much.
Hey, I mean, one piece of advice I want to give: we can't expect our mate to complete us because they didn't create us.
Right.
Let's think about that. If he ain't create you, how can he complete you? So if you want completion, go ahead and seek your creator, whoever he may be, and then go get your man for your pleasure. Just saying, in the right standing.
That's my pleasure.
I like you and I want you.
So Nelly, so everything we've kind of talked about tonight, it lends itself to, it may seem like we're off the beaten path, but it does lend itself to the art of seduction.
Absolutely.
And things that put us in a certain place, in a certain space with the person that we are in love with or that we're seeking to love or to be loved by.
Right.
So just kind of, hopefully the people can kind of take in a lot of things that we've discussed tonight and use it to your advantage.
Right.
It all connects.
Definitely.
You know.
Has to.
Five senses.
The five senses. And we want to go back to that because I know Lynette said we wanted to share about what does seduce, what entices you personally, what entices you in a relationship. And I know, Dana, you shared yours about pretty much this act of service with your husband being able to get up and, fix your car for you. So that'll be, something.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like, some nice sweatpants, and I see the print. That or you come in, you smelling good, or don't get me wrong. I got the physical too. It's like, but it just to know that you care for me and you love me and you show me that is what seduces me. That is what to make me feel. A big thing with me is if you make me. Like, okay, I know I'm a good-looking woman and I'm beautiful on the inside and out, but when a man makes a woman feel beautiful, that is the ultimate seduction right there.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Take? What does that look like for you all? Make you feel beautiful? What does it take? A new pair of earrings? I mean, I know it sounds superficial, but seriously, what does it take for you?
Not all materialistic, but like she said, just showing affection. Where you can just feel it. He doesn't even have to say it. You just know it.
Just come up behind me and kiss the back of my neck.
Like
just little stuff like that. Yes. You know what I mean? And the same with a man. A man likes that. A man likes to feel that too. A man likes to feel that too. So it's just little. It's always little things. Because I always say the big things are the extravagant big things. That doesn't take effort to me.
Right.
It's just the little subtle things that you do. That mean so much at the end of the day. So.
You guys just talking about the little things. I want to hit on real quick orgasms. Anybody know what that is or what that means?
Whisper all day long.
Orgasms. To whisper all day long.
All day.
No, orgasms. But it's kind of going into what you're saying about the little things. It's like, you heard it saying the sweet nothings.
Yeah.
Something the sweet nothings. The air work, the conversation, the little things. Like I said, a phone call during lunchtime. I love you, babe. Whatever it is. Just the orgasms will get you going. Men, remember, we have 9 phases that we have to get through. And you have to help us get through those 9 phases. We can't do it by ourselves. But we have to tell our men that. So for you guys, what are those to help you get through your 9 phases? Is it getting a phone call during lunchtime? Is it a text message?
A video?
A pop-up video.
Yes.
That works?
What kind of video you talking about?
She talking about a Ray J video.
A special video.
Special
and
video.
using my name in the video.
Oh,
Okay, all right, one of those.
Right. High five on that.
And we all grown. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I don't think there's
Nothing
anything
wrong
wrong with
with
that.
a little
If you
video.
trust
Yeah,
that
videos
person.
are nice.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Effie, what does that look like for you? What works?
No video.
Oh, videos, pictures. Eli?
moving on. Get a little nervous.
Marlene, you don't start sweating.
Well, no, because I had a friend who would, just periodically just stop in to see me every now and then. A hi text, how you doing? I'm thinking about you. Or, like a 5-minute visit while you're on your lunch break, even though you have a whole hour. That kind of thing. It does something to me. You come and you give me a hug. If I say that I need you and you come and you give me a hug and you turn around and you walk away.
That's smooth.
I'm telling you, smooth. Because again, at the end of the day, it makes me want you more. Because if you can think about me at 6:30 in the morning when you wake up and just say good morning, then I want to know what else you got to say the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month. You're spiking my curiosity, though. And see, that's the most important thing, is that if a man can spike a woman's curiosity, that she's going to want you regardless of what it is you do. Because you have to know the type of man that you deal with. Some men are not going to send you roses. Mm-hmm. Some men are actually just going to send you those, 2-line text messages, hi, how you doing, have a nice day. And you have to learn how to be appreciative of what it is that you receive from the person that you're with, because if you don't get the flowers and if you get the text message, that's just as good. But you don't send me flowers. No, don't send me flowers. Come give me a hug and walk away. Let me smell you as you walk away. Leave your scent with me. Turn me on your way. Just that kind of stuff.
Marlene, you know what?
I know.
Not all of us. I mean, that's good sometimes, but text me after you left me the flowers and let me know you made it back to work. Hug me after you dropped off those flowers. I mean, I don't want it all the time.
Yeah, everybody's different.
When you texted me 6:30 in the morning, it means you woke up hard and you thought about who you can call and see what you can do later too. Sometimes, so.
This is true.
That is very true.
One thing that seduces me that I like personally, that entices me, I like for a man to tell me what he wants. Like straight out. Like I'm not about to sugarcoat and tell me what you want. You text me at 6:30 in the morning. Listen, babe, later on I need to see you because this is X, Y, and Z. I'm there. What time? That's me. So tell me what you want. I like it. I like to know blunt, straightforward. This is what I want. Not to say you may always get it, but I'm just saying.
Putting it out there.
Right. What is it?
Check.
I want chicken for dinner. Whatever. Tell me what you want. I don't want to know that.
Surprise
Maybe that's a
you.
therapist side of me. I don't want to guess.
good stuff.
I don't want to guess.
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
what you want. So anybody else, ladies over here in the corner?
I agree with Marlena with the texts, how you doing, just checking on you, hugs. I love the scent, smell of men. I wear men's cologne. So
It does smell good.
Okay. That's different.
The texts, the phone calls, just, letting you know that you're thinking about you during the daytime, even if it's like, oh, I'm doing this today, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll hit you at 3 o'clock. Just to let you know that I'm thinking about you. Cool.
There's some of us that don't want to hear that much from a man. I'll be the first one. I don't want to hear from you that much. I'm sorry.
That's happy, yo.
That's where a man has to know his woman.
Right. See, my seduction is just acceptance, and that's only because I have come to the realization that I might be a little odd, and I like it though, so I'm okay with it. But if my sense of humor is off and I say a lot of smart things that a lot of people take the wrong way, and I'm okay with that, they'll be all right. But if you know, I mean, if you understand me, you accept me as I am, I can say something and it's not a fight. I can say that word in a 5-syllable word, and and you don't say, how you gonna say this and this, or you don't try to change me. That's, if somebody accepts me as I am, that's like right there, I'm wide open, because I can be, I can just be me.
I like that.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for tuning in to get Moxie, the Lifestyle Talk Show. It was definitely fun having you all. I appreciate you guys being here in the conversation. Tune in next week, same time, same place. We are here talking about the art of seduction. I'm your host, Coach Nelly B.
And I'm the Moxie Gent Eli.
And we thank you for joining in.